Hi, Suzy Rhoades with PassMasters, here with this week's Students' Questions of the Week. We are going to continue discussing options. From a student, now if I can just comprehend selling options. This video will help you if you're taking your SIE exam, Series 6, Series 7, Series 65, or Series 66. Let's look at our Level 1 options chart. Just a reminder, what does Level 1 mean? Level 1 means that the seller of the call does not own the shares. They are naked, they are uncovered, and the buyer of the put does not own the shares. So we're not talking hedges yet. That will be a subsequent video. So we already did the buy side of the call. A person buys a call because they are bullish. So the person that sells a call must be the opposite philosophy. So on the sell side of the chart here, the direction of the arrow is down. So when you sell a call, you are bearish. You hope that the market price goes down, or you'd be okay if the market price went sideways. The test loves when you sell a call, what have you sold? You have sold an obligation to sell shares at the strike price. You have sold an obligation to sell shares at the strike price. Now, the question was, why sell options? To make money. Why do you sell anything? So I'm a huge reader. I love books. And every once in a while, my bookcases, multiple bookcases, become overflowing with books. So I sell my books to make money and then buy more books. So it's the same thing with selling options. The person that is selling the option, you have to know the synonyms. They are short. They are the writer of the option. The whole reason why they do it is to collect the premium. The hope is that they collect the premium and that they don't have to do anything. But you must know for these exams, when you sell a call, you've sold an obligation to sell shares at the strike price. So most you can make when you sell a call is the most that the person who bought the call can lose. So the premium goes out of the buyer of the call's pocket and comes in to the seller of the call's pocket. The most you can make when you sell a call is the premium. You hope nothing happens. How much can you lose when you sell a call? Well, how much could the buyer of a call make? They could make unlimited. When you sell a naked call, the most you can lose is unlimited. The price could go as high as the blue sky. You have to go out into the market, buy the shares at the highest price in the blue sky, and then sell them to the buyer of the call at what price? At the strike price. Do you want to do this? Heck no, you do not want to do this. You want to collect the premium and do nothing. That is the goal. What would cover the sale of a call? Cash or owning the shares? Owning the shares would cover the sale of a call. Let's look at the put. Why would someone sell a put? Why does anyone sell anything? To make money. The buyer of the put, the most that they can lose is the premium that they paid for the put. That money comes out of the buyer's pocket and goes into the seller's pocket and is the most that the seller of a put can make. The person who bought the put is bearish. They hope the market price goes down. Selling the put is the opposite philosophy. Selling a put is bullish. You must know the directions of the arrow. Or you're fine if the price just goes sideways. When you sell a put, you do not want the put to be exercised. What have you sold when you sell a put? You have sold a promise, an obligation to buy shares for more than they're currently worth in the market. So what covers the sale of a put? Shares? No, cash. You know exactly how much cash you'd need. Strike price minus premium times 100 shares if it is one contract. That's how much cash you would need to fulfill the contract, to buy the shares at the strike price. So when you sell a put, you have sold an obligation to buy shares at the strike price, which will always be more than the current market price. So when you buy a put, the most you can make, strike price minus premium times 100, which is the most that the seller of the put can lose. So once you know the buy side of the chart, you can figure out the sell side of the chart. You know the arrows on the buy side, the arrows on the sell side are the opposite or sideways. So if you sold a call and sold a put, you would collect 2 premiums. You would hope that nothing happens. If you sell a call, you have sold an obligation to sell shares at the strike price. If you sold a put, you sold an obligation to buy shares at the strike price. Important to notice that the break even is the same whether or not we're talking about the buyer of the call or the seller of the call. The break even is the same. So strike price plus premium. The break even for a put is the same whether or not we're talking about the buyer of the put or the seller of the put. It is strike price minus premium. So the profit is the opposite, right? So if you have break even on a call, the buyer of the call wants the market price to be above break even so that they'll make money. The seller of the call is going to lose the amount of money that the buyer makes. So the profit is on the opposite side for the contraparties. So when you buy a put, break even is strike price minus premium. So the lower it goes, the more you make as the buyer. The lower it goes, the more you lose as the seller of the put. Let's look at some real world examples. It's important to say that no broker-dealer in their right mind is ever going to let you sell a naked call. Conceptually, the test loves it, that the seller of an uncovered call has unlimited risk. So in the real world, in the test world, we don't always have the same rules, which is sort of strange. So conceptually, if you sell an uncovered call, you have unlimited risk. But in reality, no broker-dealer is going to let you expose them or yourself to that much risk. So let's just look at some of these calls. So we have current market price, 171.62. There are all of these different calls that you could sell. So when you sell a call, why are you selling it? Because you want to make money. The amount of money that you would make when you sell a call is the premium collected. If you don't own the shares, would you want to sell an in-the-money call? Probably not a good idea if you don't own the shares. So maybe we sold, let's say, this one down here. This very last one, it has a premium of $9.95. So when you are short this June Apple call, you collected a premium of $995. What is the most you can make? $995. What is the most you can lose? Unlimited. What's break even? It would be strike price. Well, where's the strike price here? We have a strike price of $185. Strike price plus premium. So break even in this example, $185 plus the $995. So we collected the $995, $194.95 is break even. I always double check. So let's think about this. You are short one Apple June 185 call at $995. we said that break even was strike price plus premium. So $194.95 is break even. The most that you can make is the premium. Are you bearish or bullish? You are bearish. You want the price to go down or sideways. The most you can lose. Do you own the shares? No. Unlimited. And what if at expiration, the current market price when the option is exercised is $204.95? So let's think about that for a moment. The current market price is $204.95. Do you own the shares? No. So when you sold a call, you collected $9.95. You have to go into the marketplace. So this is the short side. You have to go into the marketplace and buy the shares at $204.95. When you sell a call, you sold an obligation to sell shares at what price? At the strike price, which is $185. This is money in your pocket. So we have on the positive side coming into your pocket $194.95. So per share, you have an out of pocket of $10. So a $10 loss times 100 shares, you lost $1,000. Let me ask, what happened to the person who bought this call? They did what? Made $1,000. Remember how I was saying break even is the same for both parties, but when one party's making money, the other party's losing money. So if the person that sold the call is losing money, the person who bought the call is making money. So let's just look at that. The current market price, $204.95. Here we have the long side of the options contract. They were out of their pocket $9.95 to buy the option. They were out of their pocket $185 to exercise the option. They buy the shares at the strike price. So they're out of their pocket, break even, $194.95, and then they turn around and sell the shares at the current market price of $204.95, making $10 a share, 10 times 100, $1,000. So that is a call. Notice on our options quote that when the option is in the money, it has a yellow highlight. How nice of them for doing that. You can see which ones are in the money. The opposite ones are in the money for puts, which makes sense because the buyer of a put is bearish. The seller of a put is bullish. So would you want to sell an in the money put? No. I mean, you could, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. So we're going to sell a put, but we're going to sell a put that is out of the money. So we're going to go to the opposite side here. These are the premiums that we could collect by selling these Apple puts. So obviously you can collect more of a premium if you are selling an in the money put, but you really don't want it to be exercised. So we're going to sell an out of the money put. We are short one Apple June 155 put at 630. The most that we can make when we sell anything is the premium that we collected. So 100 shares in one contract, $630 is the most that we can make. What's break even on a put? Strike price minus premium. So 155 minus 630 gives us a break even of 148.70. It was important to do the break even because remember that when you sell a put, the most that you can lose is break even times 100. So the lowest that the stock price could go is 0. So 148.70 is per share, but there's 100 shares in this contract. So the most that you can lose, $14,870. So you don't have unlimited loss potential. That's good. But you can still lose money. So what do you need to have to cover the sale of a put? Cash. To cover the sale of a call, shares. To cover the sale of a put, cash. Because you have sold an obligation to buy shares for more than they're currently worth. When you sell a put, you are bullish, or you're fine with the price going sideways, but you really do not want this option to get exercised against you. You do not want to have to buy the shares for more than they're currently worth. So if at expiration this option is out of the money, how much money did you make? The premium, $630. What if at expiration the current market price is $143.70? Is this option going to get exercised against you? Yes, it could get exercised anytime the current market price is below the strike price of $155. So let's look at the T-chart for the person who sold this option. We start off within our pocket, so this is short sale of a put, the premium. This is what we're hoping we get to keep and we don't have to do anything. What if the option is exercised, which it would be if the current market price is $143.70? What is going to have to happen? Out of our pocket is going to come $155 because that's what we have promised to pay. The strike price is the sales price that we promised to buy the shares at. We're going to turn around and we're going to sell those shares at the current market price of $143.70. So in our pocket, we have $150. Out of our pocket, we had $155. So per share, we have lost $5. There is 100 shares in the contract. So how much did we lose in this story? We had a loss as the seller of the put of $500. Another way to look at it is we know that break even is $148.70. You have to understand that if the current market price is below that, which it was in this story, $143.70, the person that sold the put is not making money. The person who sold the put is losing money. $5 a share times 100 shares, $500, which means the person that bought this put is what? Making money. Remember, the person who bought the put was bearish. They wanted the price to go down. It went down below break even and they made $500. If the person that sold the put lost $500, the person who bought the put made $500. Know your level 1 options chart. Practice making it at home. Write it on your scratch paper. You're not going to have a dozen options questions. Well, maybe if you're taking Series 7, but the rest of you guys aren't going to have that many. But having this options chart on your scratch paper just lets you breathe a little bit more easily. So practice it at home, write it down when you log into the time of your test. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to check out PassMasters course offerings, there is a link found in this video's description. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn those notifications on so you'll know when I do the hedging options video. That's the next one I'm going to make for you. Keep up the good work. I know options can be challenging, but you've got this. Happy studies. Study, 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 pass.